Are you tired of making videos and only a tiny amount of people watch it? Do you spend your days worrying about what it is you need to do to start getting thousands of views? And are you tired of trying all these different strategies that don't work? Well, today I'm going to show you how I get thousands of views on my content. It doesn't matter if it's shorts, live streams, ads, it works everywhere. I use it on all of them, and you are going to see how to take this easy strategy and start using it in your content too. You are going to discover 7 keys that will make your content primed for thousands of more views. You won't have the disempowering feeling anymore of not feeling like making content because nobody watches, but you will get empowered to make more content than you've ever made before because the views start rolling in. Imagine when you know your content is getting thousands of more views every month. How are you going to feel when it comes to recording? So full disclosure, I didn't invent this. These 7 things come from the man with the most views ever. In fact, if he was still walking around today, his content would go viral every time. So these 7 things come from the best person to teach you this, and that person is Jesus. Jesus has the most viral content there is, and you're about to discover why. In the Gospel of John, there's a powerful example which shows all 7 things. In fact, this isn't the only time in John's Gospel. I'm going to record another video like this soon, where I show all 7 again in the future. But today, you're going to see this from John chapter 5. In this chapter, there's a feast in Israel. These big feasts happened a few times a year, and everyone had to come to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the capital city, and at Jerusalem, there was this special pool. This pool had 5 pillars, and loads of sick people stayed by this pool. You had blind people, paralyzed people, sick people, you name it. They were all waiting for an angel that came at different times and just touched the water. The first person into the pool after that happened got healed in an instant. It didn't matter what the problem was, but it worked. Imagine if a pool like that existed today. Loads of people would be there, right? Now, fun fact, archaeologists, the people that dig and look for discoveries, found this pool. It's a real place that existed. But now that you're up to speed, it will all make sense now. The first thing that you must do to get thousands of more views is in John chapter 5, verse 5. This is what it says. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. Jesus is in Jerusalem. He's by this pool, and John tells us that there was a man by the pool, and this man had been suffering with this pain for 38 years. Can you imagine what it would feel like to suffer from the same pain for 38 years? It doesn't even tell us what the pain was, and it doesn't matter. The time is enough for us to see that nobody would like this. I had an eye infection once for a few days. It felt like someone had a hammer and was just banging it on my head. I thought I had a headache. That's how much an eye infection hurts. I could only imagine what it would be like to have that pain for a month, let alone 38 years. But this is a big problem so many people find themselves in when they don't get any views. If you want your content to get thousands of more views, the first thing you must do is find then create content for people with a big pain. What kind of pain? Say big pain. I've made this mistake in the past. I spoke about this in my video called How to Create Content That Captivates and Converts into Customers. I'll give you an example. I used to make content for people who invest money for returns. I'd make a video showing how to make a 6% return and call it How to Make a 6% Return. And one day I was thinking about why people were not engaging with the content the way they should. This was quality content that transformed lives, but no one really watched. Let me tell you why. The truth is, people don't care about the 6% return. They cared about the money or what the money could do for them. The pain didn't come from returns they never had, but the pain comes from the cash they don't have. So I just switched from talking about the return to the amount in cash it was. And I made a piece of content showing how to make $617 a day. That piece of content made me thousands of dollars a month. The content was the same, but I created content addressing the big pain, #big pain. Create content that deals with a big pain, or for those who think there isn't big pain in their market, you must package content in a way that shows there is a pain. That is only relevant for such a small amount of people though. I can't spend more time on that today. If I should make a video about that, let me know. But the second thing you must do to get thousands of more views is so easy to do, but so many people mess this up. I used to make this mistake over and over again, and verse 6 gives us the answer. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? Jesus looks at the man. He knows the man has been there for a long time and says to him, Will thou be made whole? Jesus says to him, do you want to get better? If I was standing there next to Jesus and heard him ask that, I would be like Peter. Peter put his foot in his mouth on occasions, and I probably would have done the same thing because it's so simple. I mean, Jesus, he's been like this for 38 years. He's by the special pool called the Pool of Bethesda. I don't mean to be rude, Jesus, but why ask such a simple question? Of course he wants to be better. And Jesus would look at me and say, this is why I'm Jesus and you're Israel. Follow me. Jesus asked, do you want to get better? If you want your content to get thousands of more views like Jesus, speak clearly about the pain in your content. The man is in pain, he's hurting, and Jesus doesn't start waffling. He asks the only question that matters to that man about his pain. Do you want to get better? The moment you start speaking clearly about the pain in your content, more people will watch it. Your content will start getting more attention, and this is because they will know that you know what their problem is. So many people struggle because the people watching don't understand what they're saying, and because of this they can't figure out if you know what their pain is or not. But this is where it gets interesting. The man replies. People will start replying once you do the first two things I've shared with you, but it shows us the third thing you must do to get thousands of views on your content. Listen to verse 6. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I've got no man to help me when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steps down before me. There's no one to help me. So when I try to get better, someone else gets into the pool first. Jesus didn't ask him if he needed help into the pool. He didn't ask him about getting into the pool. All Jesus asked was, do you want to get better? The third thing you must do if you want thousands of more views on your content is create content that handles objections. What are objections, Israel? The problems people believe are stopping them from escaping the pain. This man had objections like he's not good enough to do it. There's no one helping him, and others are better. Jesus knew those objections before he started speaking with him. If you are here to serve your audience, you must know their objections. Objections are the things that are holding them back. You must know them before you create content. Jesus was prepared, and this leads me to the next thing that you must do to get thousands of more views on your content. Listen to verse 8. Jesus says unto him, Rise, take up your bed and walk. Get up, pick up your bed and walk. What Jesus offered was not about the pool or about others helping. It was a simple offer. If you want to get better, get up and go. The fourth thing you must do if you want your content to get thousands of views is offer a solution. If you are aware of the pain and you highlight the pain and handle objections but don't offer a solution, people won't care. The next thing is most important, so pay close attention. Verse 9 says, and immediately, right away it says, the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked, and on the same day it was the Sabbath. Jesus offered the man a solution and it worked. The fifth thing that you must do if you want thousands of more people to watch your content is make content that gives a solution that works. Now there are loads of people out there that do these 5 things but mess up on the last 2 and regret it later. Focus on these last 2 more than anything else because they matter a lot. The 6th thing is gold, and it makes it easier to get thousands of more views every time. When the solution works, this next thing is almost automatic, but this happens immediately. I'm going to highlight verse 15 because it spells it out clearly. Listen to what verse 15 says. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. Not only will people ask your viewers about the transformation, viewers will tell people too. This man didn't know Jesus' name, but once he found out, he went and told the people who it was that gave the solution. And when that happens, that creates more opportunities for people to find you. The 6th thing that you must do to get thousands of views is create content that's simple and shareable. Word of mouth will grow your content more than anything else when done right. I've got a bonus step I want to share after number 7. I'm telling you, this will make everything even clearer. But first, number 7 is truly vital. If you find yourself in this situation, it will be harder than ever before to fix. Listen to verse 14. Afterward, Jesus finds him in the temple and says unto him, Behold, you are made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come on you. It suggests to us this man had sinned, and that was why the pain occurred. Jesus warns him, don't stop walking correctly, or something worse will happen. And the seventh thing you must do to get thousands of more views to your content is don't stop creating content that has these 7 steps in it. If you do, viewers will go and it will be harder to get it back. Now, I said I had a bonus. Look at how I had every element I shared with you in this content. First, my content gets created for people with a big pain, people who need more views. Second, I clearly spoke about the pain. Think back to how I started the video. Are you tired of making videos and only a tiny amount of people watch it? Do you spend your days worrying about what it is you need to do to start getting thousands of views? And are you tired of trying all these different strategies that don't work? Very clear, right? Third, I knew of and handled objections. Think about how I presented where these ideas come from. So full disclosure, I didn't invent this. These 7 things come from the man with the most views ever. In fact, if he was still walking around today, his content would go viral every time. I've got thousands of views on loads of content I produce, but I still shared things that came from the best example I could give. Think about how I mentioned different types of content. If it's shorts, live streams, ads, it works everywhere. Some people do shorts, some live stream, some ads, some videos. I do them all, but it still handles the objection. Fourth, I offered you a solution. I gave you 7 steps to get thousands of more views. You are going to discover 7 keys that will make your content primed for thousands of more views. The solution was clear. Fifth, the solution works. It worked for Jesus, it works for me, and you know it will work for you too. That's why you are going to follow it. And when you do, you will get more views and realize it works for yourself even more. Sixth, I made the content simple and shareable. It's easy for anyone to share this with someone. Here's 7 ways to get thousands of more views, or Israel showed me how to copy Jesus and get thousands of views. The point is, it's simple to explain what this video is about. Seventh, time will show that I will never stop doing this. And you can also look at the other videos on my channel to see this as well. These 7 steps were a solution for you to get thousands of more views on your content. But another solution you need is when people start watching and you want them to feel like watching more. Building a brand is a big reason why. So watch the video giving you branding secrets that will blow up your business. Go win, and God bless winners.